Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well. Trust you're having a good day so far. It is Friday. Happy Freaky Friday to you. Friday, November the 22nd. Let's see what this day has to offer us. Here's the daily frame, guys. NASDAQ and S&P side-by-side daily charts. As you can see, we have inside days on both the NASDAQ and the S&P, meaning that the high and the low are inside of yesterday's high and low. Pretty simple stuff. That by definition means ranging within yesterday's span of travel. Pretty simple concept, and of course the bodies here are neutral. And here's my trading grid, guys. There's the daily up in the top left. You can see that inside undecided. Here's my 30-minute chart, guys, bottom left. You can see we are inside of this range of travel from the Asian session and the UK session so far. Of course, the UK session continues for another couple of hours till about 11:30 a.m. New York time. We are about to open here, guys. We're about 2 seconds away. There's the first candle of the New York session. This is the two sisters charts, guys. In other words, the NASDAQ and the S&P on the 1-minute time frame with VWAP, volume weighted average price, 2 standard deviation bands here, and watching things push up here now in the first 1 minute. If you're new, guys, I wait for the 1 minute open range to form, and the 1 minute open range is the open range I use for the entire New York session, although I really only trade the first couple of hours these days. I'll put you on pause, guys, throughout. I'll cut out dead air and non-teaching moments, and we'll focus on if and when there are any trading opportunities here. I'm usually, if not always, a bit more patient on Fridays, and Mondays for that matter, than any other day, just to give this thing a little time to work itself out. It's also been a pretty messy overnight, and so I want to let this thing give us some structure before doing anything silly. I'll put you on pause and bring you back. Contrary to what a lot of rookie or newer traders tend to make, I'm not going to jump on this just because we break out of the open range. In fact, I'm going to allow some structure to set up first and to give me an idea. Because right now, I have no definitive story here in mind. We are undecided neutral on the daily. There's no direction here whatsoever. And we are also range bound here inside of the 30-minute range. And we're inside the 1 minute open range. Looking like we might want to resolve to the upside here, but who knows? We do have this zone in the way. It's a reasonable zone, not a particularly strong zone. The strongest zones, of course, are 1, 2, right here. This particular one here, which really spans to about here. I should lower that just a touch, just so that you're clear on what I'm looking at there. This feels like a potential no trade day for me, guys. I don't think in terms of win streaks or losing streaks, but I know some of you do. I'm on a little bit of a win streak apparently, and I'd like to keep that intact. But Fridays can often be the undoer of all things streaky, but we shall see. Reality is, guys, win streaks are fairly easy to come by when you're only taking optimal setups and you're only taking about 1 trade a day. Even on a 50-50 coin flip, you can go into streaks of 9, 10 trades. But with a heavily weighted coin to heads, those win streaks are even easier to come by. Not true with my more active scalping models or swing trading models. The win streaks are not as long, and the win rates are not as high as with the Razor's Edge method, which is very choosy and very precise, as you know. So I'm not touching this here, guys. We are, again, fairly indecisive on the daily. We are in this zone here on the 30-minute chart. And even right above there, guys, we have that very significant zone, just 32, 35 points higher, 30 points higher. So I'm not touching any longs here, at least not right now. All right, guys, back to the 1 minute chart here. Very rangy, choppy, grindy. I don't mind doing nothing, guys. The master trader is a master of patience, master of doing nothing. I'm not here to trade. I'm here to make money. So under normal circumstances, guys, this is a bullish configuration for me. I like this kind of move with the 9 above 21, squeezing in, pushing up above, break above I would normally consider, but not loving these zones here. And then the daily high from yesterday right above, which is right here. And so I won't be acting on that here this morning. Could very well work, fairly easily in fact. That doesn't mean that it's a high probability trade for me. I'm just going to show it to you guys, but this is not what I'm acting upon. Entry would be above, stop below. Again, I'm not taking this. And there it is, guys. So that's what would be my setup, not taking it. We can watch this play out. So I'm showing this to you on purpose. Again, I'm not in this. I want to be very clear because of what we see over here. This is a fairly unusual situation where we have now a daily body turning bullish. We have all this stuff over here, and then we have a nice clean setup. It does involve the middle of the open range, but something that I would normally take under proper circumstances. These are not proper circumstances for me, but I wanted to show you how this may play out or may reject as I would fear if I took this trade. So again, not taking it, but let's watch this act and react together, shall we? So here's a situation, guys, where we just had news, 9:45. I posted this morning in my group, and the news might actually take us through, and all of a sudden these zones become irrelevant. But again, not in this trade. We have more news at 10 a.m. So we have several units of doubt here, guys. We have the red folder news, as I mentioned. We had some at 9:45, and now some more coming at 10 o'clock. Indecisive range bound daily. Zones above here on the 30. This is a no entry morning for me. All right, guys, so there's a prime example of listening to your model, not focusing only on the lowest time frame, in this case the 1 minute or the 30-second chart, but taking the story into account. There is no higher level story here for a long. And as you can see, this is not working out for this fairly clean setup here on the 1 minute chart alone, right? All right, guys, I think you get the idea here on this trade simulation. I'm going to delete the markers now, and we'll let this thing recover into the red folder news, which is in 3.5 minutes, and then we will have an open season to see whether we get a trade here or not. All right, guys, we're back 2 minutes into the news here. You can see that I've put in circles or ellipses here to show the various support and resistance areas. There was a zone in here that's now been eradicated, given that we blew through it. And you see very clear rejection here from here down from that zone. But now we'll contend with the news and see if anything shows up here for us. All right, guys, here's the news. 10 a.m. All right, guys, so the news is out of the way. We have a contracting pattern here. I would not be interested in longs unless we get above here, and even then might not be. I would not be interested in shorts unless we get below the low here. And so there's nothing for me to add until we clear this or we clear this. Back on pause. All right, guys, dropping down. This is just a marker, not touching anything yet. Just a marker, letting this go. Stop above this shift candle here. I'm not in yet, as you know. Waiting for this candle to close, guys. waiting for this candle to close. And new candle now. Watching. Nope, still not touching it, guys. That's a big 30-minute candle. Just gonna watch this for a bit. Patience. Not doing anything here, guys. Just watching. There's no clean entry here for me, guys, at this point. Very extended move down here. Another zone here and through here. Boom, boom. See that big push up yesterday? Those 2 rejection wicks and then rocket? That's problematic. Down here. That's only 30 points down from where we are now. This is a tricky open in my humble opinion. It's just an opinion, and it is humble. Yep, deleting that marker, guys. Not touching this. Just because something might work, like we saw up here, doesn't mean that it's optimal and should be entered if you're looking to significantly weight your coin to heads. I'm not interested in equally weighted coin tosses. I'm only interested in heavily weighted to heads coin tosses, if that makes sense. All right, guys, so I'm seeing nothing here today. It is 10:17 a.m. Nothing going on the daily, nothing going on the 30-minute chart. We got some significant zones here below, significant zones above, and a meandering, messy 1-minute chart. And no real alignment here with the S&P as well. I'm going to call it a day here, guys, at least for now. If anything does show up, I'll start a new video and I will share that with you. But for now, I want to wish you an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Be safe, be well. We'll talk next week.